Welcome back to the kitchen. We are excited to have you here. You guys, we are back with the Written by You series. Today we are reading Vendor Nightmares. Guys, if you have a horrific or hilarious or crazy story that you want to read or just get off your chest anonymously, link is below. Submit your story. We will read it on this platform. Nate and I have a lot of fun with this one. We laugh. We crossed some barriers, and there are some questionable takes given. But without further ado, let's cook.
Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
What are we talking about today,
What
Jacob?
about vendor nightmares today?
Vendor nightmares.
Vendor nightmares. We've all experienced horrific, absolute garbage vendors in our careers. And if you haven't, you're probably one of them. If you don't think you have, it's probably you. Like that meme. It's like when every group chat has another group chat without the annoying friend. And if you don't think there is one in your friend group, then you're the
probably
annoying friend.
That was a
let
hot
me ask
take
you
in and
right
of
now.
itself. What?
Is there an active group chat between you, Dallin, and Sam?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
Just kidding. No, there's not.
I don't believe
There's
you.
not. There's not. Do you want me to look it up and see when the last time we talked was?
Yeah, you, Sam, and Dallin.
All right, let's see.
Yesterday. Jake sucks. Oh my gosh.
No, last time we talked.
Oh gosh.
Okay, it was
This is
last year. Okay,
incriminating.
I saw.
Last year was like a month ago.
No, I saw February 23rd, and I was like, "Wait a sec, that's Jake's birthday."
You guys texted on my birthday, but not to me.
It was 2023.
Wow. What were you saying on my birthday?
Dallin said, "Any updates on your flight?" Oh, this is when we were going out to Texas.
Horrible day.
And I said we scrambled. We dropped $1,500 and booked United one way. We got shafted. Okay. Yeah. And we just talked about our flight. Yeah. That's the last one. Then Sam sent the skull emojis, and I said, honestly, it's
Why
a ghost
wasn't I
town.
included in that chat?
Got through security in no time. Dallin says classic. I don't know why you weren't included in this one.
My birthday would have left some comms there.
It's literally okay. Here's where it started. Yeah.
This will
It
be
started and Sam said, "Hey, are we doing anything for Jake's birthday or what?"
Gotcha.
And Dallin said,
that's
"No,
nice of
why?"
Sam.
Dallin said, "Why would we?" I'm just
Wow.
kidding. I'm just kidding. He did not say that. He said, "I was thinking the same thing."
I just gotta go
And-
find a noose. Thank you so much, Dallin. Wow.
Dallin said, "I was thinking the same thing," and I told him we're flying to Texas. And then I
Great
said,
wedding.
I
Horrible day of
think
travel.
Jake's ideal birthday is a movie night. So how about we go to the movies on Tuesday at the Megaplex?
You know me so well. I think we did actually.
We did do that, didn't we?
My dream
So,
birthday
yeah, and
is
then-
not seeing my friends.
So yeah, that was our chat last. That was the last time
You
we
know what?
talked.
That actually ended up being a great birthday trip because I had Buc-ee's.
We
And I
did
got to
get
meet
Buc-ee's.
Alex, and Alex is cool.
Alex, and we got to hang out with Adam and Justin.
Yep. That was a good
Get
trip.
some what was it, Terry Black's? Is that what we got?
Terry Black's. Yep. Good
Yeah.
barbecue. Anyway, back
Yeah.
to vendor nightmares.
Anyway, sorry.
So, you guys, for those who don't know, like we said in the intro, if you have funny or horrible or stories about a wedding you were at that you're just dying to tell, but you don't want to embarrass anybody, look no further. Our
Make it
podcast is
anonymous.
anonymous. Submit your stories, link below, and we will read it here and judge you based on how you handled that situation.
Sometimes, who was the kid that Alex? Remember Alex? We're sorry, Alex.
All
We,
5
just
of his
bagged
takes,
on
we
Alex.
just disagreed with all of them.
Yeah, they were good discussion openers, but we just
Alex, we appreciate you, bro. We
we
appreciate
do,
your
we do.
persistence.
Sincerely, thank you.
All right,
But
I'm gonna
yeah,
start us off. This is a long one. Sorry, I cut you off.
These three are very long.
This is good. This is story time. So buckle up, grab your favorite treat, put on Subway Surfer, whatever.
Yeah, you might be on the road right now driving to a wedding.
Or maybe you're Cherish and you're just editing godly content day in, day out. And you're finally at the meat of the episode after waiting 20 minutes for it.
After skipping through it. So just,
Yep.
buckle in. Here we go.
We should
Send
put
it
chapter
off.
headings in the YouTube video for people who want to skip past our just random rants.
Yeah, this is a long one. Here we go. Let's get into it.
Tell Tanner you have to start adding chapter headings. She's like, oh, one more thing. It's like, okay, please. Of all the things you do. Love you, Tanner. All right. This is from a videographer. All right, story time.
Here we go.
I had a wedding where the couple booked a DJ from one of those nationwide companies that have local franchises. First mistake, by the way.
Yeah.
The services they offer are cheap. Could have told you that. And couples typically get what they pay for. Preaching my language here. The DJs I've worked with from this business have ranged from decent to straight up awful.
Never good.
Not a good range.
Yeah, let's bump it up.
Would hate to be in the middle there.
Yeah.
This DJ, however, set the bar so low he must have tried to be bad intentionally. Please name his name.
Please.
The ceremony and reception were both held in a giant space that's used for concerts, but is also rented out regularly for weddings. The space is split into two, separated by black curtain dividers. The DJ was contracted to use their speakers for the ceremony in addition to the reception, but what he did instead of setting them up properly for the ceremony was get everything ready for the reception on the other side of the room and just turn his speakers up really loud for the ceremony. He didn't even face the speakers the right way for the ceremony. You guys, we are halfway through the story, but I am appalled. This is so bootlegged. I can't.
This is bootleg.
All right.
We've
Once we
seen
got to the
bootleg.
reception, first of all, what does that do for videographers' audio? Depends on your source. If you're plugged into the speaker, it shouldn't matter too much. That's actually crazy. That's how you should adapt in that scenario.
Plug
You
it into
shouldn't
the
put a mic
speaker.
on the mic, or if you lob them up, you'll hear an echo.
Yep.
You have to plug it into the speaker in the back of the room and just hope and pray to God that it doesn't pick up on the echo.
The speaker, the board, you have to be plugged in.
Oh, wow. Also, just from a guest perspective, that kind of sucks though to hear it that way.
Yeah.
Once we got to the reception, he did something I've never seen before. He front-loaded the reception with all the planned activities the couple wanted to do. We went right from the first dance and parent dance to the shoe game, dollar dance, and tried to go right into the bouquet toss without any breaks. And before opening up the dance floor, let's just get this over with.
I kind of like this DJ. He's
You know what?
He's an
I would do the
efficient guy. He's efficient.
But it sucks if you're trying to put your lights in places,
Yeah.
In addition, the shoe game had also DJs who are also
I hate the shoe
MCs.
game.
Yeah, that and DJs who are also MCs. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
There's very
Terrible.
few who can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Give
In
me
addition-
Parker injuries.
Parker injuries, Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shoe game had too many questions, and there's nothing worse than a shoe game with too many questions, because the shoe game is awful already.
I hate the shoe game. I hate the shoe game.
It's usually written by the mom or dad, and the couple thinks it's funny, and then all of us are just like,
The shoe game gets old after the first question. And it is terrible. It's just awful when they always agree too. It's not controversial. Everyone's just like, oh, nice.
oh, it's so, and I know.
You guys actually
And then-
know each other.
Not body shaming here. But when the bride
Wait,
shoe,
Jake. Hey, hang on, Jake.
when the
Watch what
bride
you
is
say.
I don't care. When the bride is a bigger shoe than the groom, wild. And we're all looking at it. You're like, oh my, and you can't stop looking like, oh my gosh, she's wearing a size 13.
I can honestly say I've never paid that close of attention to it.
You'll never not stare at the shoe sizes ever again. You're like, oh my gosh, her shoe is massive. And then you have to look down at her foot and you're like, good God.
First off, I hope I never have to film another shoe game. But if I
Yeah.
do,
Oh, you will.
You've
I
scarred
just
me.
manifested it upon you. All right.
Okay,
Safe to
keep
say,
going.
the shoe game, I'm not a fan. The dollar dance lasted for at least 40 minutes. Dude, get that cheddar. If there's anything that should last for 40 minutes, it's the dollar dance.
Man,
Hopefully
crazy.
it was full of dollars.
Yeah.
Imagine like an awkwardly frugal dollar dance. That would suck. Fortunately, the photographer had a spine and asked him to open up the dance floor before we could do the bouquet toss, which he graciously did. He seems like a nice guy.
He seemed like he was really good. He seems like a good dude.
But he didn't even announce the dance floor was open. He just started playing music. And it took wedding guests a good 5 minutes to realize what was happening. He also forgot about the cake cutting. I actually really like this guy.
I'm liking this DJ the more. The more the story goes on, I'm really liking him.
I don't think he forgot about the cake cutting at all.
I think
he knew. I
he's-
think he understood the assignment.
I think he's listened to the Kitchen Podcast and he's listened to us
Get all the
hate on
stupid
cake
events
cutting.
out of the way. Let's have 40 minutes for them to make some
And
mad cash during the
just
dollar dance.
Get people on the dance floor. Play.
Yeah.
Don't announce it. Just let people get warmed up. Gosh,
So I had to
dang.
ask the couple to do that really quick before this shit show all started.
When, okay, keep.
Nathan, can you ever picture me being like, we haven't done the cake cutting yet. Run to the couple. Quick, cut the cake.
Gosh,
I would never in a million years.
never.
I'm sorry.
No,
I just,
yeah, we're not hating.
if they
on
forgot
but
it,
yeah, we would.
If
Never.
they forget it, me and Nate would look at each other and just fist bump.
Thank goodness. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. DJ.
And even when guests were on the dance floor, he was just sitting behind his booth, scrolling on his phone the whole time. He literally was just a glorified Spotify playlist manager. Okay, that's unforgivable.
that part's
last
bad.
part.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, that
if you're a
part's bad.
DJ, have some
Yeah,
fun.
don't just
Engage,
play Spotify.
Right. Everything else,
Everything else
forgive.
I'm pretty on par with. I maybe the shoe game. Okay, let's talk about the shoe game. I don't think it was 40 minutes because of
no,
him.
the dollar
It was
dance
probably-
was. The dollar dance was.
Wait, was that? I thought it was the shoe game.
No, the shoe game had too many questions.
Oh, the dollar dance. Okay,
The
yeah.
dollar
Well,
dance.
that changes everything. Yeah, this dude's a
shoe
great
game-
guy.
The shoe game, the DJ has no control over. It's pre-written
Dude,
questions that he
Yeah,
has to do.
yeah. That's the bride's mom.
So he, he was just doing the
Dude.
assignment.
The dollar dance for 40 minutes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Make
if
him some
I
money.
was a DJ, I think I would be someone like
that
this guy. Which, according to you, is
They were trying to be bad.
straight up awful,
you were trying
but gracious
intentionally
at the same time.
gracious in your efforts to be bad. Yeah, no, I can easily forgive the other stuff as well. The 40-minute
Sorry,
dollar
I like
dance.
this.
It's just like do you think the dollar dance lasted for 40 minutes because the couple did it or just because he kept playing it? Because I feel like they
know.
could stop it whenever they wanted, or when
I know,
people
I
just
feel
stop
like-
giving dollars.
I know. I've only
It ends.
filmed probably a handful of dollar dances, but I feel like usually they stop playing music once the money kind of stops coming in.
Yeah.
Once everyone's kind of
Maybe
like,
they were-
that's all I'm given. So if maybe it just kept going, they were just making some fat stacks.
Oh man.
I would
Wow,
love a
that
dollar
is-
dance right now.
Yeah, I would
at
love
this
that.
stage of my life.
Gosh, that was so funny.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a great one.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna read the other long one because it looks like that second one is
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
an
Read the long
add-on
one.
to something else. Okay, this one might be just as long, if not longer.
From a
Well, they look about the
photographer.
same. Jeez.
I think
got
this
some
one just has
stories.
better
Punctuation?
paragraphical.
Yeah,
would you call it punctuation?
Order? No, well, just structure. Which again,
Structure's the word. Paragraph
thank
structure.
Thank you to the recent submissions. We have noticed an increase in the efficiency of punctuation. Thank you for the commas, the periods, the parentheses. Thank you.
We
I
are
think it
getting
was
less
after.
entries, and I think it's because we keep on discrediting everybody's opinions.
I think where it all started going downhill was the. Do you remember the Egyptian videographer?
We were pretty, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Well, that was
pretty
a rough one.
That was a rough patch for
There
us.
wasn't a point to that one. We were kind
Man.
of waiting for the punchline.
The Egyptian racist
Yeah, it was
videographer. You know what I just randomly thought of off the dome? Remember, there's that one DJ who we ripped to shreds. It was like DJ.
Rick. No.
It was like it sounded
Yeah.
like a drunk name, and he gave us, he probably gave us like a 1-star review. What if this was him redeeming himself?
That's great.
Man,
He considered himself redeemed. That was a
yeah,
well-handled wedding.
yeah. Thank you. All right. Okay, this one is from a photographer. This is a vendor nightmare. I'm a big believer in helping my community out. Normally, when my clients book a package with only one photographer, I ask them if I can bring someone else with to help me out on the day. I tell my clients that they will also be taking some pictures here and there, and with their approval, obviously. I do this because I know getting into the wedding industry is hard if you don't have a portfolio of real weddings. I'm being nice by taking an amateur photographer with, which will help them build their portfolio and get some BTS and experience of a wedding day.
I
Wow,
have
that
a
is.
lot of opinion on those 2 paragraphs.
We'll get to that, but I was about to say that's truly thoughtful. If that's the intention, that is truly thoughtful. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. I always tell the tag along photographer to keep quiet, just observe and take photos here and there. I tell them to never make comments.
Just shut up and do what you're told.
Shut up and take a picture every
I'm
once in a
being
while.
so virtuous by letting you be here. Don't you ever say anything.
Okay. I always tell the tag along, okay, don't just keep quiet, observe, never make comments. And it's worthy to note that the word never was in all caps. Okay. Anyway, we get to the father-daughter reveal, which was very emotional. Both of them were in tears. Absolutely beautiful moment. The amateur photographer decided to comment things such as, "Aw, you guys, this is so cute. Aw, so cute that you're crying. Aw, stop this. This is the cutest thing ever."
Can I add? The same photographer that you brought against your client's wishes. Continue.
I never say anything during the special moments. I try to give them space and let them have the moment, which,
Good job.
great. Capital I, capital was, capital furious. I was extremely embarrassed since I was responsible for this photographer. I hate that this happened and that now I want to stop taking other people to weddings just because of this one bad experience. Many photographers whom I've taken with to weddings have built their portfolios and are now running their own wedding businesses. They always thank me afterwards for helping them get to the point of booking weddings. Offering this experience has helped so many, and I want to help more, but I don't want to risk something like this again. Now, there's a tag.
Wait, Nath, yeah, read the next. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then this is what they commented after. They said, "This is part of the submission of the tag-along photographer making comments during the father-daughter reveal. I forgot to add this part. During the groom's portraits, she told him that he is extremely hot and that he should be a model. I was so embarrassed."
Now, I say that to my grooms as well.
You do. But
Should I?
I think there's a different
Well,
chemistry.
It depends on the groom. If
It does,
if
it
me and the
does.
groom are tight and it's
Yeah,
like
if he's a homie.
warranted.
Yeah, absolutely. But you
And
gotta read the room.
I call my brides beautiful,
Yeah, but not in a creepy way.
but I would never call my bride hot. I would
Yeah.
say you guys are hot. You should be a model, but I would
Well,
never
there's a-
single out the other gender.
I think it's kind of a different dynamic, I think, because I'm guessing this other photographer was female. That was kind of the vibe I
sounds
was
like
getting.
it, yeah.
It's a different dynamic if the female is hyping up the groom and saying, "Dude, you're so hot, you should model," as opposed
why do we
to
think they're
a male
females?
videographer saying to a bride like, "Oh my gosh, you're so hot, you should model." Like that's just a little. It's a little different.
Wait, Nathan, why do we think they're females?
I think it was just in the way it was written, like when she was saying, "Oh, you're so cute." Like there were lots of, it was AWWWW. Like I just
should
read
type
that in my head as like the girl, instead of like a dude, because a dude is just like,
we,
"Oh man,
we don't know very many guy photographers, so maybe that's just our
no."
predetermined.
Yeah,
Interesting
I'm-
story.
I'm
Let's
assuming.
dive into this.
Yeah. Let's
I
dive
want to
into
hold
it.
a pencil. I want to
With,
be
like,
all official.
I want a whiteboard. I want to start drawing things. Here's where you
talking-
went wrong.
I watch all those podcasts on like holding pens and like writing notes. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna just,
No, let's talk about what they did
let's
good
dive
first.
in.
Let's talk about the good part.
I
The
think
great
it's
part-
very virtuous of you to bring a photographer along, and for the only reason, because you weren't saying you want to help it with your portfolio, you just wanted to give them some content
Right.
so they can get their business going. And then,
Right.
yeah, you might use some extra photos. I doubt you actually end up using a lot of their photos in their gallery. But good for you for,
Yeah.
bringing somebody else along.
That sounds, if they're seriously just doing that, which it sounds like they really are, they're just doing it to help other people break into the business. That's phenomenal. We need more community like that.
Yeah,
The
that's
other
awesome.
the other thing they did really well was going to your TikTok viral and Instagram reel was just letting them have the moment.
Yeah.
They let
She
them
did
just say,
mention
hey,
that. Yep.
yeah, just let them have their reveal.
Give them space.
Don't
you
talk.
said. Yeah.
If it lasts 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But they let them have space. So those were two things that were just massive W's.
Now,
just
I
claps all
don't
around.
think the amateur photographer intentionally was trying to make that moment that way. I do think some people just don't know how to handle pointing a
Silence.
camera during those moments.
Yeah.
Especially in the first year when they're not used to being a part of something emotional like that. Sometimes we feel this need, kind of this twitch almost, to fill the silence with something.
To always, just be directing and telling them what to do to get your shot.
Yeah, and I feel like I learned that skill. My mission was just to let the moment simmer.
Develop. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. A few
I mean,
things
we've
here.
we've had
go for it.
photographers though. I mean, I wouldn't say it's crazy uncommon. I'd say it's probably more common than one would think that photographers or even videographers during the first look or the reveal or whatever are usually trying to say something. I'd say it's pretty rare that the whole moment just happens. Don't you feel
Yeah.
that way? I feel like most of the weddings we shoot, there is some interruption by the photographer or the second photographer, whatever.
Yeah.
And so this probably is a pretty
little more
seasoned photographer.
antsy. Yeah, photographers are a little more antsy to me when it comes
Yeah.
to like moving on to the next part of the agenda.
Yeah.
A couple things here though, from a business standpoint. And I think you learned your lesson. I want to phrase this correctly. I don't want to, because I do think it's amazing what you're doing. I think it's awesome bringing people to get content for their own weddings. But we have to remember that it's not your business. It's someone's
Right.
wedding day.
Right.
And you're not just bringing somebody. And when we bring a second show that I'm paying to be there, I'm not just bringing them. I'm in charge of them. They're not just there. They're representing my brand. They have to act the way we act. They have to dress the way we dress. They have to shoot the way we shoot. They have to be an extension of our brand. And if they're not, then it hurts us way more than it helps us.
Right.
So in a case like this, where it's like you're just wanting to be a good person, which I totally respect and I love, and you wanted to bring someone to help them get content, still though, you have to keep in mind your business priorities, that they are representing your business.
Right.
And that you need to be able to cover your bases with that thing, because that is a pretty tame. I'm sure the couple didn't even notice during that moment. They were just so caught up in the moment. But that could have been even worse. And that would have been on them. They would have walked away from that wedding with content and no repercussions. Maybe just not working with you again, but you would have taken the hit for that. Your reputation would have taken the hit for that.
Yeah, when you
So
hire
you wanna be
someone to come
careful.
work under you got to have some sort of, I guess, prerequisite or
Yeah.
checklist that this person has X amount of experience, X amount of gear or whatever. They charge this much, and again, while it is good that you're trying to help out the community and help someone build their portfolio, at some point you got to treat your business first and just not put it at the expense and just the risk of having it being crippled by someone else, by how they act or how they shoot or how they show up to a wedding.
Right.
It's a business, and we've talked about this before, but in this industry specifically, it's more artists and creatives than businessmen and businesswomen. And I think that's a shift that a lot of people have to do, is just say, hey, this is my business. I need to do what's best for me, not what's best for other people. Right. It's very generous, very charitable that you're bringing someone along, but at what costs,
Yeah. And I would also say, from a business standpoint, if you just want to be the good Samaritan, like, good for you. That's kind of where your passion is. But like for me also, if my clients opted out of paying for a second shooter, but then I bring one,
Yeah.
you
It
gotta
probably
stick to your
raises
gu-
some
you-
questions.
Right. You have to stick to your guns.
Right.
whenever clients opt out of something, a luxury, an additional shooter, additional edit, additional coverage, they have to know that they aren't getting the best product possible. That they're getting a great product, but there are more things that can make it even better. And since they opted out of those, they don't get those things now. Because odds are that those people are going to want all your second shooter stuff and expect more now, even though you did them a favor. But you need to charge for that. Now, if it's one of those things, which I've done before, which I encourage, is it's like, hey, you didn't get a second shooter. I will be bringing an assistant with me. They won't have a camera, but they are shadowing me for the day. Is that okay? But then I'm very clear to that person that you will not shoot, or you can't come across as a shooter. You can't direct, you're mainly there to shadow. And I charge them to shadow me. Not all the time, but sometimes. And even just charging them to come be at that wedding to get that content. One, it's an investment for them because they get content from it to help with their portfolio. So it should be something that they pay for. And two, if they're paying for it, they're usually going to be a little bit more on edge in a good way. They're kind of more aware of their place and that this is your event that they're lucky to be at because they're paying for it. But if it's just too many favors, you kind of lose the sense of professionalism, in my opinion. And things like that happen. And that's a pretty tame experience. I think it could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, that was pretty harmless. And there's some photographers that just pull that off. They're just that type of personality that when they say, you look so hot, you should be a model. Like, yeah, they're vibing, they're connecting with the couple. The couple doesn't think anything about it. But what you're saying, if you bring a second shooter to my wedding and I'm the client and I specifically opted out of that, the second I see a second photographer or videographer there, I'm thinking like, oh, are they going to charge me for this?
Right.
Am I going to be upsold? Yeah. And that would make me a little uneasy. So yeah, being clear with the client, saying, hey, I'm having an assistant come and shadow me. And yeah, what you said was a great point. Why not make a little more for yourself? Like charge someone to come shadow you, because yeah, you're helping them out, but they should also kind of have to get in, like, I don't know, they should have to kind of pay something, not crazy, maybe a couple $100, but just something to shadow you and get some portfolio content. That's well worth their money.
I agree. Very interesting. Also, like, I think if it came from you, the lead, like why you guys you look so hot, it's even better because you've been talking all day. But for the mute assistant who no one invited to be there, for them to the one time they speak or interact with the couple is hitting on the groom, that's where it's weird. That's where it gets uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I call my grooms hot.
Yeah. Man, why not?
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
I'm confident in my sexuality.
Yeah, same. Why not just call them?
Had some hot grooms.
We do. We've had some straight daddy grooms.
Straight dads, dude. Guys, I'm like, man, my life would be better if I looked like that guy.
Yeah, very, very tame experience. Very, very mild. Definitely not the worst thing.
I think this photographer learned a lot from it.
Yeah, we've said worse things. we've done worse.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. That was. Should we share that story that we're both thinking of?
No, what story are you thinking of?
The Cabo one on the beach.
We always reference this movie, this moment. Wait, what did I say?
No, it was when I called you that right in front of the couple.
Oh,
and you just got really.
Wait, I gotta tell this story. I love this story. I was thinking of a whole different thing. All right, so you guys, Nate and I, 2020 Super Bowl. We are filming a destination wedding in Cabo, Mexico. And the joke, where were you and Kayla at in your relationship in 2020?
We'd been dating for like a year and a half. So like we were definitely very serious. Like we knew we were going to get married.
And this was Nate and I's first, quote unquote, like destination wedding where like everybody in Cabo was not from Cabo. They're all from Vegas. So like they put us up in a resort with them, this really nice resort. And so my wife and Kayla, they kept calling it me and Nate's honeymoon. And this was back in Jake Weiser Films days, so I was hiring Nate to come with me. And so the joke was that like I was Nate's sugar daddy. And we were on our honeymoon together. And so we just kept joking about it and kept calling each other daddy whenever we would like give each other like, you know, a Coke or some chips and guac. Like, do you want some of this? Oh, yes, daddy. Like we would always like, that was just the joke. And it's so gross saying it.
You're making this so much worse.
Yeah. Well, anyway, wedding day comes along. Boom. We're dressed up. We're professional, right? We're locked in.
We're on our game. Yeah, we're on our game.
Nate, was it you or I who said it?
I said it to you.
Okay. So we were on the beach. We were filming bridals after a full day of working, right? And the couple's awesome. We're all being very professional. Photographer team was great. And we're on the beach, and I tell Nate, just go over there and get the go over there and get that wide shot. Yeah, go get a far away shot. And he just so instinctively just goes, "Yes, daddy." And I'll never forget, like, because I'm in professional mode, so it took me a second to register. So I didn't respond. I didn't laugh. I didn't do anything. I just look over at the couple, and it's a little shot from a TV show. The couple in the photographer duo is just looking at me. And I waited long enough where I couldn't make a joke now. Like the silence had already been loud enough. I couldn't like laugh that he said yes, daddy, because I let him go. He said it and walked away. And I look up at the couple and they're all like looking at me. No judgments, but kind of.
But they like we didn't disclose our marital status to them.
And the photographer found out was a pretty hardcore Christian, and so they were just looking at us, and I'm just like blank face, and I let the silence go for way too long, and then we just had to move on, and I never cleared the air, and I never could defend myself, and the rest of the night was just kind of interesting. Yes, daddy runs away, gallops away, and I'm like, oh my gosh. That was probably the worst in front of a client comment ever made, and I can't believe it was you. I can't believe it.
That was hilarious, though. I don't regret it. I would say it again.
Just Nate drops a bomb and then just runs away. And it's my business. Again, it's Shapewiser Films. He will receive zero repercussions for that. He got a free paid trip to Cabo, free guac. He said yes, die to me once, and my career almost ended.
That was great. That was a good moment. Yeah, that was fun. Just ran away after that. I was 100 yards away. All right, guys, here we go. Nice.
4 years later,
great.
He still calls me daddy.
Oh yeah. See, worse. Second shooters can say worse things than "you look hot."
That
or so cute.
Man, good memory. That's one of my favorite stories.
That was a good one.
I don't think we have any other stories about we've. I mean, I put my foot in my mouth all the time.
Oh no, I know for a fact. I'm trying. There's one time I remember.
I'm the king of that. I am so bad. I'll say
trying to remember what you said one time. Oh my gosh.
Wow,
I remember. Really... I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I remember you said it, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!"
It's not been that big of a deal if you forgot.
No, it was. No, if you know me, you know me. Sometimes just in one, out the other ear. No, it was like
you have a memory of an elephant, bro.
I know, but I'll forgive if you do something. It's gone. Oh, what is it? No, I'm thinking of Nate Taylor at Fontainebleau. Nate Taylor. I'm not even gonna say that.
No, it's the Jay and Mac and Rich story for me.
The what?
In the elevator with Jay and Mac or Jeffrey on day one of the shoot.
Oh my gosh, man, that was hilarious. Yeah.
Long story short, Nate was thrown into an elevator with just the client, billionaires, genius, event planners, designers, just top dogs. People you just yes or no, sir.
Running the party. Yeah, you say yes, sir, no, sir, and okay, I will do that.
And this is our first time at the Fontainebleau. Just so nerves are already up, right? And we're also associate shooting for Le Rev, so we have to represent them. So then the elevator opens.
We both, you and I, we both have our runners, right? So we got Richard and Jay.
And they're not on call that day. So they're just hanging out together.
They're on call for the next until tomorrow. So
Jay from JMac Films and Richard from it is RN Film Co. What's his new? Yeah.
RN Film Co. Yeah. So they're just hanging out. They're just running errands. I think they went to like 7-Eleven. They just got a bunch of stuff. And we're on the 80th floor of Fontainebleau. And I'm with Paul Anka, the guy who sings "Put Your Head on My Shoulder," whatever that song is.
What else is he sing?
I don't even know. That's like his one thing.
Come on, he knows something.
Yeah. But I'm with Paul Anka and Peter Arnell. So Peter Arnell is the designer of Fountain Blue. He's the yes sir, no sir. And I am being held hostage. I'm at like hour 1 at this point, just being dragged around and forced to do everything. And we're going back down, and we click on the elevator. We're surrounded by his security team and whatever. And we click to go down. And for some reason, I will never understand how they got here in the first place. I'm at peak stress level. And the elevator doors just go ding, and they open up, and I see Jay and Richard just sitting there with their 7-Eleven bags, straight out of the movie.
You guys gotta picture Jay. He just always like has like a perma smile on, and just like always bobs his head. So just picks the doors open, he's just like,
Oh
"What's up,
man,
guys?"
they're just chatting, and like I see them, and in my mind I'm like, please, not now. They can't see me because I know they'll try to talk to me, and this is not the crowd to start a conversation in front of. So the other two, I let everyone else go in the elevator first, and I tuck in just in the corner, the front corner, and they're in the back corner, just completely diagonal from each other. And then the funniest part is that Jay is standing right next to Paul and Peter. He has no idea who they are. And he just kind of, it goes quiet in the elevator. And he just starts bobbing his head. And he just looks over at Peter and he's like, Viore, huh? Yeah. And Peter's just, he looks over like, yeah.
So the world's greatest brand designer.
Oh, Viore. Yeah, my
Make small
brother-in-law
talk.
owns Viore. And he just tries to start making small talk. And I'm just sitting there like trying not to laugh, but thinking, man, not now. Just please don't see me. Halfway down the elevator ride, goes quiet again. And then Jay just goes, oh, Nate, you're in here. What's up, Nate? And I'm just like, oh, hey, guys, I didn't see you there. Oh my gosh, it was just the most awkward time.
Crying,
And
dude.
we look back and laugh now, but they were very offended I didn't say anything to them when I walked in the elevator at first.
How could you? Stress levels
Yeah.
were high.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Dumb and Dumber. When
I was
Jim
about
Carrey
to
walks
say.
out of the gas station and goes, "Whoa, big gulps, huh?" All right. Walks
See you
away.
later.
Oh, see you later.
Yeah, that is exactly what that moment was like. Oh yeah,
man.
no, there are worse things than just a second photographer saying you look cute or cute
No, I'm
moment.
trying to think of. I know I've said things before.
Dude, I know for a fact, and I know I'm gonna remember it by next podcast, but I know there's been things where I'm just like, man, I can't believe you just said that.
Come on, what is it?
It hurts. It hurts because I feel. I want to say it was Jeffrey and Mason.
Recently,
No. We were on our game, but yeah, like recently, like within the past year, I remember just being so uncomfortable, thinking like,
was it
man,
a wedding or was it like a workship? Because I feel like I had a few moments.
it
at
was a
workshops where I
wedding.
was like,
It was a wedding. It was if I could think of the couple, I would remember it. But it was definitely a wedding.
Sarah and Braxton, Mason and Jeff, Kim and Kevin. Any of the four in June.
June. No, I'll remember it. It'll have to be next episode. I'll remember it. Gosh, I'm
That's
gonna think
crazy
of that
because
all
I
day
just
now.
I feel like I say things, I just like move on. I don't really care.
You
I'm like,
do.
oh, I probably
which
shouldn't
is
have said
definitely
that,
a strength. Yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely a strength.
But it's already out there. So what can you
Yeah,
do?
it's already out there. You can't do anything now.
Wait,
But no,
I gotta throw Emma under the bus for this one. Emma, if you're
Okay.
listening, I gotta throw her under the bus because you probably are sensitive about it, but we thought it was hilarious, especially since you
I'm in on
apologized
this?
after. Yeah,
Okay.
she apologized after, but we're like, it's not even like apology needed. Like it was just funny to us. It's when she was launching her course, or she was filming her course, and she was stoked about it. It's like a crash course. Anyway, it's a very condensed, tight course. It's like 2
Right.
hours. And she texted us and just goes, "Yeah, I'm so excited. There's such a need for it." And she goes, "Nobody wants like 9-hour plus courses and all, yada yada yada." And me and you were just looking at each other after spending 12 months making 12 courses, totaling over 12 hours. And we could have just like let it go, but because Emma's a homie, we just immediately text her back, us looking at our 12-hour course. And she felt so bad.
oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's not what I,
I know,
meant.
she did apologize, but like it's like we don't need you to apologize. We just think it was
No,
funny.
We're just messing
Because
around.
we agree, like, yeah, there's a huge
Yeah.
need for both, and we just thought it was funny. She just felt so bad,
That was
but we love her.
hilarious.
So it all worked out. That was a
was
recent
hilarious.
one that at Emma's
Yeah.
expense. That was hilarious. Hope she's okay with
that
me
was a
sharing
funny.
story.
I hope she's okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's some funny things. Well, we should just have an episode where we talk about things that we've said that we shouldn't.
I would get canceled, bro.
We should do an episode if we get like
I would be
a
gone.
if we get a certain amount of likes, we'll read the most recent days worth of group messages.
That is wild of you to suggest that. Never do that. Incriminating.
It really would be those gifts where it's just like me and the boys going to the jail after they
Especially,
found our group message.
can I just say Nate's tactic? That little snake. Nate doesn't respond. He lets the chat unravel and just get to this point because it escalates quickly in our chat.
It
And
does.
Nate just lets
A little
it,
too
and he comes
fast.
in hours later. So if a judge were to screenshot the messages, Nate wouldn't be in that mix until hours later when
It's
he responds to it.
It's strategic. I'm thinking
It's-
long term here.
Yeah, but I would like to be present, have my back in the moment. Gotta defend myself against two of the biggest morons on this planet. Sam and Dallin, for those wondering.
Man, Sam and yeah, those guys keep us on our toes. We're always just moderating the group chat, and then Sam
Yeah.
throws it into just upheaval, and then Dallin says something. It's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, that would be
Oh
incriminating.
man, yeah. We'll scratch
Just
that idea.
To end with some virtue about my friends.
Maybe that'll be the last episode of the kitchen we ever do, just to kill off all the subscriber list.
just a mic
Sorry,
drop.
guys. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, virtue.
to end this with some virtue,
Yeah.
I love Dallin and Sam. And if you guys aren't following Aldous Films and Samuel Hansen Productions, you're doing yourself a disservice. Actually, Samuel never posts.
I would say follow his YouTube channel, gunman.us.
If you're into guns, if you're a far right conservative who practices the Second Amendment,
Takes
Check
it
it
a little
out.
too seriously. Yeah.
no, but Sam and Dallin are two of our best friends and two men who inspire us, who are always just working hard for their lives, their families, their people. Incredible friends of ours.
Yeah.
And we diss on them because that's what best friends do.
Yep.
But truly, some
love
of
them.
the most
Give him a follow.
genuine and amazing men and very talented. Yeah. All to say, I will always talk crap on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my camera
Oh,
is at
man.
2% battery.
Yeah, I got
Let's
10%.
wrap this
All right.
sucker up.
You guys, thank you. Please submit stories to this podcast. We want to read them and react to them. This has been a fun one. We only got through 2, but the time is gone. So,
Yeah.
but that is all for today, you guys. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe.